All right, guys, this is KMKanDrum. I have a special guest today. His name is Steve Osborne. Uh, yeah, this is, I think, episode number 16 or 17. They've kind of just flown by. It's ridiculous how many I've done in such a short time, just because it's such a hit to the drumming community. Everyone's been giving me some really good feedback. So I thank you guys for watching, and I just want to keep on going because there's so many awesome brothers and sisters that are out there that I want to get to know, and hopefully through me, you guys get to know them as well. And Steve here is another guy that I've been wanting to talk to and get to know because I once commenting on each other's channel and watching each other's videos, and there's a mutual respect I think that's been going on between us, and I wanted to get to know you a lot better because we're friends on Facebook, and I see these crazy pictures of you all buffed out, and it looks like you do some bodybuilding and weightlifting. How's that going with you?
Oh yeah, man, it's going great. Then right now I'm in prep for a show. I started it like 23 weeks out, and because I wanted to lose weight slowly, and I wanted to be able to keep my food high, so I can keep my Fruit Loops and Cocoa Pebbles in my diet. I gotta have that good stuff, man. And then so right now, it's like 13, no, I'm sorry, 12 weeks in, and it's 21, 22, almost 22 pounds. But when you start doing like these shows, you go like, how much you weigh? Oh, I weigh 193.6. Don't nobody care about the point six or not like stepping on a scale. But when you start getting like this, you could just get like so detailed and kind of like wrapped into yourself. And I got
Ah,
like so got another 12 weeks to go, and about another 13 more pounds to lose. So you feel skinny. You feel like you're wearing your big brother's clothes because nothing fits anymore. But it's like for me, it's always like after. When I go, I don't go for a trophy. I don't go for a medal. I go because it's a challenge to myself. Kind of like with the drums. I'm not trying to be better than anybody. I'm just trying to be the best I can be. And
awesome.
I just like that challenge, and that's my thing. So I just enjoy the process, all the processes that we go through. Keeps you
Yeah.
sane. And then that's the thing, and it keeps you going. So you're just not just like stagnant and stale.
Totally. I mean, yeah, if you see any of my videos, it's pretty obvious that I don't do any working out. So I'm kind of intrigued by this whole bodybuilding thing, and do they go by levels like certain heights or certain weights or whatnot, or is it just kind of like everybody competing at once?
Yeah, and they do. And depending on, for like the male classes, you got a male physique where they come out there wearing the shorts, and that's for the pretty guys, and that's not me. So I can't do the pretty show. I have to do the bodybuilder show where nobody cares what you look like. you know. And then for like bodybuilding wise, they got the open classes, and then they'll put you in with like certain weight classes. You got a lightweight, a middleweight. I don't know the exact weights for those, but I never go into open classes because them young dudes, man, they're in the right spot. That's where they need to be. So I compete in the old man classes, and so being 50, I compete in the masters classes, which is like 50 to 59. So and when you're in those, it doesn't matter height, weight, or whatever. But there's usually not like a whole bunch of us old fellas up there standing on the stage at the same time. But the ones that get up there and they stand, and it's like so awesome, and everybody's so cool, and the camaraderie is just like so great, kind of like our drum community. Everybody is so supportive, and that's why I really enjoy doing both.
Awesome.
And interacting with really cool people, meeting really awesome people, and you just have a good time. You shared interest. I just love that. I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
do.
totally. Yeah, it's one thing, like you were saying, to do it because you get into a routine, you get into a process, you challenge yourself. But it's also another thing when you go and you do the competes, or in our case, when we do videos and we put our stuff out there into the universe, and other people come with similar interests or the same interests, and you get that whole networking part where you can go back and forth and talk to people and get feedback and give feedback. And I think that's kind of the like uh the if let's say if bodybuilding has two hands, the one hand is you and yourself, and the other hand is you with other people. It's like putting the two together. It kind of makes everything full circle and makes the experience worthwhile. And I think that's what's so awesome about life is just when you do something and you put it out there in the universe for people, other people to see, you get that interaction with other people, you know?
That's right. That's right. And to go up there and not expect anything,
Yeah.
just enjoy, that's the thing. So many people, I don't say so many people, some people get caught up in things, I got to be the best, I got to be number one. And then they get disappointed when they're not,
Yeah.
as opposed to just being, it's just you. It's you against you. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you're one of the competitive eaters like the Nathan's hot dog guys, or I don't know if I can do that, but it doesn't matter. It's just you against you. And when you're the best that you can be, and you can improve every day, being either a better person, a better work, associate, with your peers, or if you're a manager, you're just being a better manager. It's just always just improving on yourself every day. Then you're much more happier. I
Yeah.
think that you really are, because you accomplished something and you're not expecting nothing. You're just like, hey, I'm just going to I want to be better. I want to be a little better today, a little better today, a little better today. And then
Yeah.
it makes it so much more rewarding. You enjoy life so much more. You're not all crazy and, like, oh my goodness, I can't stand this, but that's what I like. That's the way it should be. And I know it makes me happy. And then like when I'm watching drum covers, that's when I can tell the drummers, they're like, hey, you know what? I'm being the best that I can be. And then when I can see people that are doing videos and they're enjoying what they're doing, I don't care about the skill level.
Yeah.
I'll watch a video all the way through, and my comments. I comment on everything. I try to get
Yeah.
into your mindset when you're playing, and I'm like, because I watch it a couple of times, and I look at like different little feels that you did, and then how you made the song feel, and I like to comment on those things. I don't like say, oh yeah, sounds good as usual. You
Yeah.
know, Forget that comment. You're never going to get that from me. Mine's usually like a little bit longer than probably what it needs to be, but I want to give you feedback on like everything and how it made me feel when I watched it.
Yeah.
Because I know that people put so much into it. You'll do the practice, you'll do the recording, and then you'll put it in, and then man, it deserves a detailed comment. That's from coming from me. I love giving the detailed comments. Because I get so much enjoyment out of it, just as much as a person did recording it.
Yeah.
You know, and I like
Totally.
that. I like being able to get into it like that. I don't know
Totally.
why.
Yeah. I completely agree with you because um, guys like you and Andrew Nelson does it a lot. Marco Drum Saga, he does it a lot. They get into uh, great detail and they watch every little thing
Hmm.
and they comment on the most subtle things. They won't even comment on like the big outrageous fill.
Yeah.
They'll comment on the real subtle things, and it's like it you feel appreciated when someone sees the little things. Like the big things, those are obvious, so
Right.
when someone actually sees it, like one comment that I got from Marco was he notices that I start most of my songs, most of my covers, I start I'll play just real basic, and then with each next part gets a little bit more complex until the end is like kind of like a climax, I guess.
Right.
So, and most people don't notice that I do that, and I do it on like intentionally on purpose. So for him to notice that and see that, it's like, oh man, that's cool. Like someone can actually see what I'm trying to do.
Right. Yes,
So
sir. You're
yeah,
like,
I love when people like because I try to do the same thing as well. I try to watch the cover and look for things that maybe most people wouldn't see, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be the playing. It could also be what's going on in the background, like
right.
Hungry Drummer Joey. He's got like a washing machine in
Yeah.
the background, and he's got like three different vases with drumsticks in it. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, he does.
So it's crazy, but also him, he plays with the hugest smile, and you playing and like when you're playing, I can just tell that you're just having a great time, and especially with like I'm no good at any like stick tricks and all that stuff. So when I see people do that, it's just like it blows me away because so focused on what I'm doing. If I even try to do something like that, there's no way I would mess it up completely.
man, I drop them things a lot though.
Oh, really?
Start the video over. Gotta do it again. No, next. All right, so we're gonna try it again. I gotta get my stick. But
You should
sometimes
do
I'll leave them in.
yeah, you should do like a blooper reel or something. That would be awesome.
Yeah, man. But yeah, but that's like all fun. But but see, you know, like you say, it's so cool seeing the drummers enjoy the themselves in the video. Then it makes us as the viewer enjoy the video.
Yeah.
And like I say, and then plus too, like you're saying, really commenting. And with Marco, get up there and commenting on it. See, I'm gonna pay more attention to that part, so I can see you get up there, so I can see the song evolve when you're playing. See, every time I watch your videos, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it so you can see it evolve. But it's cool because it's like telling a story. I told you about that for years when I was watching you play. It was like you were like telling a story when you do it, and I think it's like really cool, and of seeing it. And like you have like a lot of those little subtle nuances that I'm pretty sure, you might just, I don't know if you put them in there intentionally or it's just like automatic because of a feel that you have that's inside, and you have these really cool little hat placements and the little bell stuff. See, that's man, that stuff just gets me like, yeah, I want to go practice now.
So, yeah, I just did an interview yesterday with a good buddy of mine, and we're both we come from the same school of drumming where we pretty much taught ourselves how to play, and we got caught in the mode of we had natural talent, so we just kind of kept playing what we were naturally good at and didn't actually work on the things that we were bad at.
Right.
So everything that I play pretty much isn't something like, because if you watch like a instructional video or one of those like famous guys that are out there, and like Todd Zuckerman or however you say his name,
Right.
like he'll go through a fill and he'll say, okay, I'm gonna do right left right left right 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 left, and he's like does this whole pattern and he does it really slow, and then he speeds it up and he goes faster and faster until it's to the point where that's the speed that he actually plays the fill in the song.
Right.
I don't do any of that at
Yeah.
all. Like if I'm playing something, it just comes naturally, and sometimes I'll play something and then I'll totally forget how I played it and then it's gone forever.
You better hope you caught that on tape.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I hate to admit it, but there's no function to my playing. There's no like there's no map to it. It's just kind of it's organic and it's just there. And if whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. It's just the way that I play. So
Right. See, that's the it factor I was telling you about that you have. You don't
yeah,
know what
well,
it is. You just got it. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
can't learn
yeah.
it. That's just one of those things. You got it or you don't. Nobody could teach you to play the way that you play. Nobody can
Yeah.
teach anybody else to play like the way that you play because you just have that thing. And it's, like I said, it's just like really cool, man. You should be proud, man. You're like awesome, man. So.
Oh, thanks. I mean, yeah, like I look back at the things that I've been able to do in my drumming career, and yeah, I'm pretty happy. Like, but you know, you can always get better. You can
Right.
always like, and that's the thing that I struggle with is I know I can get better, but do I really like challenge myself? I probably don't challenge myself enough or as much as I should, so.
Right. Hey, take it in them little steps. That's all you got to do. Say, oh, I'm going to go one beat faster today.
Yeah.
That's the way I
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I should probably, it's been, I've talked to quite a few drummers now, and a lot of them actually do practice, and it's making me look really bad. So I think I should actually take the initiative to start practicing.
That's funny. That is funny.
So let's get started with some of these questions because I really want to know what you got up your sleeve here.
All right,
Um,
awesome.
First question, I always ask the same thing. How long have you been playing drums for?
All right. Well, actually, I was in the Marine Corps. And when I got out the Marine Corps, I'm giving you the long answer, I guess, for the short one, right?
Do it.
But
Do it. Do it.
all right. So when I got out of the Marine Corps, I went to my very first concert, and I saw Motley Crue. So I saw Tommy Lee flying across the crowd in his drum set. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And then I went out, got the drum set. So I started playing when I was 21, and then I played for 10 years, and then I played in some really good bands and got to open for like a bunch of name bands, you know. So I started off with covers, you know, then got into some original bands, and we were doing really, really well. And I moved up to Virginia to play with a band called OX3. And we were really, you know, we were riding that wave, and egos get in the way, people
Mm,
get into fights,
yeah.
bands break up and you hate each other. And then this is what I did. So that was a 10-year period. So when I was 31, I said, that's it, I'm done. I'm not going to trust nobody no more. I'm not going to play anymore. My love for drums was gone. I stopped. And then fast forward 17 and a half years later, one of my wife's friends, his name's Bob. I'm going to go and put him out there. He goes, he kept trying to get me to come down there and practice with his band. I was like, oh, no. I kept blowing them off. And then one Sunday I had nothing to do. So I went down there to go sit in for like a little practice. And they go, oh, you think you could play a gig for us on Saturday? I'm like, what, 6 days from now? I ain't even played. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was like, man. So, but, you know, so that's what got me back into it. And so that was 2 years ago. So totally, I've been playing for 12 years. I
12
got 12
years.
years.
And what about your channel? When did you start your channel?
That right there, I kind of started it about the same time I like started back playing, because where I'm like living at, I can't get me like an acoustic drum kit, so I got the electronic drum kit. So I started that. That was, I think I can't remember, I did my first video maybe December or January or something like that of 2018. But like I said, I just wanted to do it because I was like, man, it's free, don't cost nothing. I can put this music thing out there, you know, it's like really cool. And it was like really neat because by doing that out there, I got to meet so many cool people. You know, it made so many friends, and you know, and it just keeps on going. You know, and I just really enjoy it. And then see, for mine, I still need to actually get into like a bigger recording process because right now I've been using the iRig since I started. You know, I plug in the
Oh, okay.
iRig, you know, and then because it just does everything for you. I was like, I'm all about simple and
Yeah.
repeatable. Let it all be the same, you know. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm getting to like some better recording so I can actually do some like mixing, you know, of the drums. Because you know, right now I don't do no mixing, and I got the little mixer on my module, you know, where I got the sound that I wanted. You know, I got all my drums EQ'd the way I want them, but you know, I don't really do any of like the hardcore mixing. So you get, you know, like so many of these videos that these guys put out there, they just sound great and professional, and then mine's just the old basic iRig, easy. I go done,
Yeah.
upload, I'm through.
I mean, there's something to be said about that because, uh, you know, I had Roland TD1, I think, where the only mesh pad was the snare, and then I had the three black tom pads.
Uh-huh.
Um, and actually, my first video that I ever put on YouTube was just me soloing on that E kit because I wanted to show how crappy it was. Because I would hit things and it would come like different sounds would come out of it. And I'd be like, what is this crap? Like I can't play on this. I have to play on a acoustic kit. So, but for like 3 or 4 years, I didn't have access to a place where I could set up recording gear and video gear and all of that. So finally, I moved to Philly from New York, and I was able to have a basement and set up my kit and put mics on it and whatnot. And if you watch like some of my first videos, it sounds like shit. Like it sounds really bad. So it took me a while to get my sound dialed in, but now I think I'm at a spot where it's sounding pretty good. I'm even actually starting to add like EQ and reverb and all of that stuff. So yeah, the sound's coming back, but yeah, man, it would be so awesome to just plug in,
Yeah.
play, and put the video out there. Because sometimes, man, I'll like go into a rabbit hole with mixing and EQing and all of that, and just the sound part. And I'm not even talking about getting into the video and the editing and the different angles and all that. Sometimes a cover can take me 5 or 6 hours to spit out.
Right.
Whereas if I had an electric kit and one camera, I
Yeah,
mean, it would take the length of the song,
that's right.
maybe.
The length of the song. Yeah, so you go to a little rabbit hole. You come out. You got the old Rip Van Winkle beard and everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's funny because last night I was talking to my friend and I was saying, to me, I feel like it's very rare that the grass is greener. Like usually for me, the grass is never greener. I want
Hmm.
to go somewhere and I go somewhere and it's not as good as I imagined it would be. So, like to each his own is basically is what I'm trying to say. Like if it works for you, just fine because I watch your video. They look and I mean, if you look at a guy like Beats by Jay, right? He's got the whole thing. He's got the
Right.
lights. He's got the sound dialed in. He's got the performance. The guy's a performer. He's a star, and
Right.
that works for him. But it might not. Like it definitely wouldn't work for me. Like I don't ever intend to put lights or make it like this like huge production type.
Right.
So yeah, to each his own. Like if you're happy with what you've got, that's awesome. But again, like as you said in the beginning, like you always like to improve. So
Right.
I actually have some questions that might pertain to this, but that's in a different section. So I want
Okay.
to get on with the drumming questions because
Easy enough.
um yeah, they're pretty interesting, especially this one right here because I want you to be Dr. Frankenstein and create the monster drummer. So if you take someone's hands, someone's feet, someone's mind and mind, the way that they maybe write drum parts or whatever, and then you take someone else's heart and soul, like what monster drummer would you create?
Well, I think everybody's got the feet, man. Everybody wants the feet of Thomas Lane.
Yeah,
Man, is this dude out of control or what? Man,
yeah.
he had to lock himself in like a cell and just because how could he play? Well, I don't understand. I watch him like, what is this guy doing? I would have his feet, and no doubt about it. And you know what though? And I think I have to have his hands too because his hand and feet coordination there it is, like unbelievable. And then see, I'm a big Carter Buford fan. You can see how I do them Hertafels or however you
Yeah.
pronounce them. I do them a lot, And then because his heart and soul and creativity are, what he comes up with is like so cool. And then so for me, it would just be like really of like those two would be
Oh,
the
okay.
ones because I like to have it like where it's like a simplified. I don't like getting like a whole bunch of parts. I like stuff that see for me. I like stuff that's simple. I like it repeatable, and then being able to play like like the same lick, but you orchestrate it differently so it sounds different. But you're doing the same thing, like a little right left kick or right left kick or something like that, and then depending on what you hit, it sounds like a completely different thing. So, but that's why I said for those two, that right there would for me would be of just having that because Thomas Lang, nobody's got independence like him.
Yeah.
No one, no one has independence like him. And then, like I said, I just love Carter Buford's like his approach to the drumming, his creativity to the drumming.
I don't
That would drive me. I'm like, man,
I don't think anyone could argue with that. That would be a monster drummer right there.
yeah, that would be. You'd be like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of the drumming world, right
Yeah. Awesome, man. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so now you use electric and acoustic drums.
there.
Do you switch off on different types of sticks? Do you use wood and nylon, or do you have a preference for one or the other?
Well, yeah, I love the wood tip better, but when I got these Lauren toms, I guess that's a free plug for Lauren drums, huh?
Yeah.
When I got them Lauren toms, they had the mesh heads, and then I was afraid of those wood tips getting up there and cutting into the mesh. So I talked to Beats by Jay, and he goes, "Yeah, it's probably a good idea to go to nylon against that mesh heads." So I use the nylons when I'm playing on the electric kit, and then whenever I'm playing on the acoustic, yeah, I'm definitely that's all about the wood, man. And to me, like the wood tip feels better. It has like a better weight. I don't know. It's kind of weird. The same stick, it feels different as a nylon than it does as a
Yeah.
wood tip. I don't understand it. It's just a little difference, but I can tell.
Yeah, I think uh, I'm trying to figure something that's comparable. Like for me, um, I play hockey. So for a long time, when I was growing up, they had these two-piece sticks where the shaft was aluminum, and then you
Hmm.
put like this the head of the stick, the blade of the stick into the aluminum, and uh, there was always something wacky about those sticks. And even though, economically it was good because you'd fork over a lot of money for the shaft, but then the blades were cheaper and then they would break all the time. So it would be
Hmm.
easier just to get the blade of the stick and replace it. But then they started coming out with these composite sticks that were one piece. And it was just like, oh man, why weren't they like this from the beginning? Because the feel was so much different. And I equate it to wood sticks and nylon tip sticks. Like wood sticks are just one piece, it's solid. You don't have to worry about any parts coming loose or anything like that. With
Right.
the nylon, it doesn't matter how glued on that tip is. It's not part of the stick. It's a weird kind of phenomenon type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and they like to come off at inopportune times, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, I guess any time would be inopportune, but yeah, they find the most inopportune time.
They do. You're like, whoa. Oh, now I just put my stick through my snare. I was going to hit something like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's there's only I think there's only been one or two guys that have like preferred nylon to wood. I'm in the mode of wood over nylon. I think 9 out of 10 times I would prefer a wood stick
yeah.
to a nylon stick. Cool. Okay. Well, what about the do you use a double pedal or a single pedal?
Oh, single pedal. I
Single.
figure once I learn how to play a single all the way, then I might get a double. But I'm leaving the doubles to the professionals. I ain't messing with it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. And then what about what are your thoughts on metronome? Do you like playing to metronome or you rely more on your internal clock?
Well, whenever I'm like practicing, because I just now when I practiced before, when I started before when I was like playing for my first 10 years, I never played to like any like rudiments and stuff. I was like it was like headphones on, whatever music was playing on the radio, I went for it, whether I knew the song or not. And I think that probably like helps me a little bit today of like learning songs because I just did so many different songs back then. And
Yeah.
then nowadays, I use a metronome because I got into rudiments about 6 months ago. And I just picked like four of them. I picked the paradiddle, the six stroke roll, the single stroke roll, and the double. And then so I started with the metronome. I was starting like 50 beats a minute just to making sure I was like solid and trying to build that left hand because I was noticing that my right hand's higher than my left. So the
Mhm.
metronome is, and so the metronome is keeping me in time, and then it's also making me more aware of my left hand because I didn't have to think about keeping that time. I'm
Yeah.
able to like feel the pulse and then try to get my hand going with it. So, and then even when I go practice on my E kit, it's got a metronome on it too, so I can actually when I'm like practicing some of the little rudiments on the kit itself, I'll run it with a metronome. But when I'm like playing like a song, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I, I just I can't get it because to me it almost makes it seem like robotic,
Yeah.
you know. And then
Yeah.
I want the natural feel because if you listen to like songs, especially like a lot of these great drummers, they some of the songs is like sped up and it slowed down because that was the natural flow of the song, and
Yeah.
that's what you wanted, So I always get like the long answer for that. My bad.
I love the long answers. I don't want any short answers.
But like, yes, no,
Yeah.
yes, okay, sure, thanks. Have a nice day, man.
Yes.
We're done.
No metronome. Yes, metronome. Wood tip.
Yeah.
That's no, I don't want any of that. I want the long answers always, always.
Yeah, so so it's definitely like it's good for especially if you want to get your your confidence and your chops, and that's what I wanted to get to, like being able to I wanted to feel more confident behind the kit because you'll see some of these guys that'll play, you're like, man, they could probably play in the middle of like a stadium of 100,000 people and just be them and be able to like play and just do whatever they want. See me, I'd be too scared. I'm like, because I didn't have the confidence in my playing to be able to, like, if eyes were on me, am I going to be able to to come through? And then I've noticed by doing like with the rudiments, and like I said, I just chose a few because I never done them, but I wanted to get these like down pat because they just seem to translate well on the kit. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's making my confidence a little higher on the drums. Now I feel like I can play a little bit more and I can be a little more dynamic, and and I just feel like, oh yeah, I can do this. I can do this. I'm not like afraid.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I don't know how to really explain it. I don't know if, but yeah, it's that confidence factor. Like I said, and then that is just like, except for me, it's like done me like so well. I wish I was doing this like back in the day when I was playing. Maybe so
Yeah.
I would have a little more like chop thing. So here I am now, just trying to build up those chops.
So, okay, so I have a question that just actually popped up because of what you were talking about. When I was, uh, I guess you could say in my heyday, I want to say 19 and 25. I mean, I was
Hmm.
playing in a ton of bands. We were playing a ton of shows and like showcases for record labels and like mini tours and like just like playing all the time.
Hmm.
And like when I look back on that part of my life and my playing, I was like super confident. Like I wouldn't just play the drums. I would be like a part of the whole stage thing. I would be like running around the stage whenever there wasn't a drum part. I'd be like, I would put water in my mouth, and then like when the song came in, I would just like hit the cymbals, and I would like uh, shoot the water out of my mouth. So I was really theatric, and it was almost like a kind of like a bravado thing. And then at any time like
Hmm.
I had a chance to solo, I would solo. But I'm the same as you. Like it took me a long time to get into rudiments and actually learning how to perfect the craft of drumming. So, when I look back into all of my solos and I think about what did I solo if I didn't know like rudiments and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like it was just bravado. It was all bravado. Like it probably sounded okay to like, just your average listener. But if that thing was recorded and I looked back now, I would probably hate myself. So so it's like, maybe in your 20s, if you had 100,000 people looking at you, you might not care so much. But now that you're older and you're a little bit wiser, because I know for me, for sure, if I was 20 years old, I would say bring on the stadium. Like I
Yeah.
want it, I want it all. But now, 20 years later, I'm a lot wiser, and I know how
Yeah.
how crappy I am. I don't want to be on that stadium anymore.
Oh man, that's funny. That is funny. Yeah, but you're
So
right. I think that has a lot to do with, like you said, even like being younger like that too, and then also playing a lot.
yeah.
That does it too. You're right. Because I think I did have more confidence when I was like playing a lot more. I really did. But it's like, but I still just, I guess when you see some of these ones that are on, that you see some of these drummers that are playing, they just look, hey man, I can do this all day long and just and just go and just so confident, and they seem like they never run out of ideas. Because I don't know
Yeah.
if you do or not. I don't know if you ever get up there and like you try to like run something for like a couple of minutes, and do you start running out of ideas? Sometimes
Oh
what I do
yeah.
is I'll just, okay, now what am I going to do?
Yeah. No, that's part of the reason why I don't practice is I'll actually sit down and I'll be like, okay, I've cleared off half an hour. I think I'm gonna go and sit down and practice. And then I try to practice, and then after 5 minutes, it's like, uh,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. So it's yeah, like I totally I run out of ideas. It's kind of like I hit a wall,
Right.
and once you hit that wall, it's just like then you lose momentum, you lose
Yeah.
confidence, you don't want to do it anymore. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, man.
Yeah, it has it because it work or do that to you. But whenever if I have a thing where I'm like off for a couple of days and then I don't work for a couple of days and I'll leave the drums alone for a couple of days, and then I can go back, I'm like, wow, I can actually play. And then 2 days later, I'm like, what happened? I can't do nothing now. I come out there and I'll say every four-letter word in the book and add all the ings and all that stuff to the end of it. I'm like, what? I suck. I quit. I'm not doing this no more.
Oh man, the love-hate relationship with the
Yeah,
drums.
dude, that is a good description. It's definitely love hate.
That's awesome. I'm right there with you, man. Uh, so okay, it is such a love-hate thing. So why the drums?
Yeah, that's I didn't even have any inclination of being a music. I know they say drummers ain't musicians, but we are. They need us.
Yeah, hell yeah, they
But
do.
that's right. But I don't know because I never thought I was ever going to play. I thought I was going to be like a career military man, but yeah, I don't like getting up early in the morning, and I'm done. I like to sleep, but but I don't know. It just like something like clicked in the brain. Whenever I tell you when I saw my very first concert with Molly Crew, I seen Tommy Lee. I was like, wow. It just a little switch flipped on in my head, and then I became all about the drums, and I went all out. I bought a drum kit. I had to have my mom get up there because I didn't have no credit. I had to have her like sign for me to to get these, to get this kit. And man, and I thought I was the greatest thing, playing up there when I first started. Look like an idiot. Look at me, I'm so awesome, And but I don't know, like that love, it just came and it was like instantly. I never was pursuing it or nothing. And then that's why I took it so hard when I fell out of love with the drums back there
Yeah.
when we had that big thing, because I pushed so hard. I put everything into it, put everything on hold till I wanted to be, the big rock star, make the living playing drums. And then, man, I tell you, when I fell out of love with the drums, man, it was like a hate thing. When I'm talking about the hate was at the highest end. I know hate's a bad word, but since we're talking about the love hate here,
Yeah.
I didn't want nothing to do with the drums, and I can tell you, I completely stopped. And then there'd be songs on the radio that I had played, it was like cover wise and stuff. Anytime it came on, I would change it. I was like, oh, I can't stand
Wow.
this thing. It got like to like that point. And then you know what though? But then I guess hey, there was a little bit of love left because when I went up there and then I got it back, and then but I was like, wow, it was like, man, I'm so glad, and it was probably a good thing to go through that period that I didn't play at all, and then it kind of like fell out of love because, now my love is like stronger now. And
Mm.
then, I can, feel my growth, for myself personally and the drums, and actually like, taking it from a different angle as opposed to like the younger days, like, let me just
Yeah.
thrash hard, get some of this. And, I'm breaking cymbals and stuff, and then to like now being able to like really understand and then, and get a better feel of the drums and, and try to connect a little deeper,
Yeah.
and they try to be a more of a musical player to the drums and not just the hit it hard and look what I can do kind of thing, and then
Hmm.
and being able to add like a little more musical taste to it. Because like whenever I do a cover, I'll try to do a little extra because I want to see drummers input themselves into the drum. I want to see, I want to see you doing a cover. I don't want to see somebody playing, note for note on the thing, add them little nuances, because you should, that,
Yeah.
you're showcasing you. And then so that's the way that it should be. You interject yourself, and then you just really enjoy it because I know for me like that, I love watching drummers do that, and then I'll like get up and I'll comment on it too. Hey man, that was like so cool. I really liked what you did there. You interjected yourself because I got a comment time. Why you flip the sticks. I didn't start flipping the sticks till I started, replaying again. And I just do that just for the fact that I just enjoy it. It's not something that I just try to do. It's just like an automatic thing. I just flip it and it ain't for no show or no nothing. It's just for me. I'm like, okay, whatever. It goes up there, and catch it. And, if I catch it, I catch it. If I don't, I don't. You'll never see it. If I don't catch it because I ain't showing the video. but but when I'm playing like live with the band that I play in, I don't try to even like go overboard at all. I play for the band, play the song, so it's all about the band thing, and then if they allow me to, do a little something, I'll do it. But if not, it's not a big deal to me because I enjoy like the interaction of having, the four guys there and, doing the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Like I I'm not sure if you're a part. I think actually you are part of some of those Facebook groups where there's a bunch of drummers, and occasionally it'll come like it, I've seen it at least maybe 3 or 4 times. Someone will ask the question, um, "What do you guys think of stick tricks?" And there's so many people that hate on stick
Yeah,
tricks, and to me, like, I just can't do them. So I I don't do them because I can't. But I'm not gonna hate on somebody because they do. Um, in fact, like it's a little bit of jealousy. Like I wish I could do a stick flip every now and then. Like that would be awesome. Like so if I wished I could do it, to go and hate on somebody else for doing it is kind of like hypocritical. So
right.
I mean, as long as I don't know, I don't even think there should be any rules. If you want to do like stick
Whatever.
flips, all, more power to you. Like so,
Right.
but yeah, I mean that kind of like it just I had to rant about it because there's so many like opinionated people, and it's almost like you kind of just like you have to pick your battles. Like that's not a battle you should be picking
That's right.
because it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with those people that are flipping their sticks, and if they want to, they can. If not, what difference does it make? What
Yeah,
does it matter?
that's right. It doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. It doesn't matter. If you're just going out there having fun, you're just being
Yeah,
yourself. And that's it. That's all it is to it. It ain't about showing off. It ain't about saying, look what I can do. Because it ain't that. It's just that's what you're feeling at that time. You
yeah,
know, that's just the way that it is. When you do certain feels, it's what you feel at that time. Because I don't know if you ever. I know it's kind of we probably get off topic a little bit, but when you're doing like a drum cover, do you ever like start it and then you play it through and then you'll play it again? Then all of a sudden the song starts evolving. You might have added, oh, I'm gonna do this feel, and then you'll do it again and I'm gonna do this feel. Oh yeah, then it just really starts growing into something like really really crazy. And next thing you know, you got something you can't play. That's what.
actually, it's the opposite for me. Like, I'll go into usually like nine out of 10 times I'll go into a cover and I'll have all of these crazy ideas in my head and I'll play them and I'll record it and I'll listen back to it and I'll be like, oh, that didn't sound that didn't sound that good. I'm gonna take that out. And then I play something else, or the next part comes, and I'm like, oh, that didn't sound good either. I'm gonna take that out. So by the end of the take that I usually keep is probably like the least busy. It's been edited, let's say. So rather than playing the song simple and adding to it like as I go, it's kind of like the opposite. I'll take away as I go. It's weird.
Next thing you
My
know,
brain's weird.
yeah, but that's right. But I've had some things like that where I've tried like certain feels that happen. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, and it ain't matching. But well, let me ask you this too: with like your feels, do you try to like base or even of like the feel of like a song? Do you like listen to the lyrics and try to base your maybe your accent, your little subtle nuances and stuff based on the words, and
Yeah.
try to like background those words and mimic those words?
Yeah, it's funny because there's only two things that I base my drum beats off of. It's the bass and the vocal melody.
Yeah.
Almost never play to the guitar, almost never play to anything else that might be going on. A guitar solo, rhythm guitar, keyboards, whatever. It's always either whatever the bass is doing or whatever the vocals are doing.
Yeah, I'm like that too. Actually, I listen to the bass and make sure he's stomping right because if
Yeah.
you I, mean, I know, man. I will be at practice sometimes, man, and oof, my man to get up there and be throwing down some stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you doing? It's making my kick. It'll make that kick sound crazy. He'll be like a little off, but and I like to mess with him too because he's a little older than me, and I'll like that like playing a little over the bar and like come in on like the and of the one instead of the one. I like just to mess with him at practice, and it's funny to like
That's awesome.
yeah.
So you're a prankster.
Yeah, that's me. You always got to get up there and have fun, man. You get
Yeah.
like we are, we're like up there, man. It's all about having the fun, and just
Yeah,
really
for
having a good
sure.
time with it.
So I actually there another question popped up because you were talking about taking a long like hiatus, a long break from the drums because
Hmm.
of the whole love hate thing. I kind of went through a similar thing, uh not on purpose. It was more like, but so yeah, I've been in a handful of bands that have gotten really close to getting record deals, and each one had fallen apart. Uh, and there was like, it always leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Um, and for me, the thing that it showed me more than anything was, what you said before too. You can't trust anybody. It's
Hmm.
like egos come into play. People get greedy.
Right,
People, like instead of taking one step at a time, they want to like grab for, they want to kill the goose to get the golden eggs, even though
right,
there's no eggs inside there yet.
right.
So I wanted to ask you, do you think that going through that whole thing helped you in your personal life? Because it totally did for me. Like before, I would rely on other people to kind of get to where I needed to get to in life. And then when those things happened, it was like an eye opener to me. I was like, you know what? I can't rely on other people. I have to do it myself. And it doesn't just go for bandmates. It applies in life.
Hmm.
And from that point on, I went back to school, I got my degree, and the things that I do now are all like, it's just dependent on me. Like I don't have to depend on other people. And I'm wondering if you kind of got the same thing.
Yeah, actually, I did because I didn't work during that time when I was like playing, and then I started into the workforce, you
Yeah.
know, join the real folk that are getting up here and making it happen, right?
Yeah.
But I think it made my family relationship better too because I was when I was playing, I'm pretty sure I was kind of had a little bit of arrogance going on with that, and then I was like, oh yeah, you know, get a little band thing, to kind of made it, kind of about yourself like that. But then at the same time, I didn't really believe in myself enough to actually like, well, you know what, I can't make it on my own. But like you said, when I had that break, I realized, you know what, when I started working, I'm like, well, you know what, I can be a provider for my family. I can be, the provider for my, for myself and have the confidence and because I think that it actually made me a stronger.
Yeah.
Well, I say reinforced my work ethic, and that made me like a stronger person. 'Cause I'm like, now, it wouldn't even like affected me that much if we had like an issue with the band or anything like that because I just know where I stand. I'm like rock solid down. Now I know, hey, it's this right here. I'm like good to
Yeah.
go. So you're absolutely right. I think that right there was ain't needed. So I guess it's all part of the plan. As
Yeah.
it's probably what I needed in my life at that time, and I'm glad that it did happen. I really am.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally am too. Like, you can always look back and say, "Oh, it could have been this or it could have been that," but then the rest of your life is just a letdown. So it all depends on how you take failures or what people might look as failures,
Right.
and what you do with that. What comes after that? Like, it would be so easy to just like throw in the towel and be like, what, like so many people like do really bad things when bad things happen to them.
Right.
It's the ones that rebound and make something of themselves that really test your character and test who you are. And those are the challenges that like you have to kind of take upon yourself to make yourself better. And that was a challenge that I totally took and tried to better myself and to put myself in a better situation so that it doesn't happen again at the very
Right.
least. So yeah, I mean, if anything, you know, I'm not bitter at all. I still talk to all the guys that I was in bands with, and I have like some great relationships. You know, I always try to keep those bridges. I never try to burn any bridges or anything like
Hmm.
that. It's just it's a waste of time and energy, and you just never know when you're gonna cross that bridge again. You never know.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because
Yeah,
even the
man.
band I'm sorry, man, but I was going to say even the band that I fell out with, that when I stopped playing, right now we reconciled about 2 years ago,
Oh
and so
wow.
now we're all talking, and everything's good. Friends on Facebook, and every now and then they'll send some old crazy, wacky photos that what we had back in the day and back when I had hair. I'm like, no, it just grows and falls out to this and never gets any longer.
Oh man, yeah. You know, like I've been blessed with some hair. Like I'm but I still got all my hair. It's one thing that I have at least. Like I have a good friend who went almost totally bald when he was like 22, 21, 22. Yeah, another good friend that was almost all gray by 20.
Oh wow.
So it's just like, yeah, and I remember like back when I was like 18, 19, these guys were like going gray and going bald, and I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And now to look back and I'm pretty blessed with the hair.
Yeah. You go, I'm glad I'm not you. Look at my locks.
But you know what? You use what you got. You know, like
Right.
it doesn't matter. Like I don't like to judge. I don't care about whether you have hair or whether you don't have hair or whatever the
Right.
case is. You're above anything else. You're an awesome person, and that's all that really matters.
That's right. And you're right. It's all about the character of the person. You're absolutely correct. Yeah. That's all it is. I'm with you on that. I'm the same way. I don't even care. You're cool, you're cool. If you're not, you're not, it's okay too, but I won't be talking to you too much if you, I
Yeah, and
guess,
that's okay,
you
like
know?
that's fine. Like I don't need to be friends with every single person in
Right.
the world, like
Yeah. You get that little tight little group that you have, there's enough of like-minded people like ourselves that are around here, which you've interviewed, everyone you've interviewed is like that. We're all in like the same thing. We all think the same way. Appreciate everybody. Everybody's like cool, love to chat, and and supportive.
the thing that kind of scares me is when you get to like I think uh most of the guys that I've talked to so far, um we're in the hundreds of subscribers. There's maybe
Hmm.
been one or two guys that have been in the thousands. But what scares me is when you get to that point where you've got thousands of subscribers, right? Because it's
Hmm.
already hard enough for me to watch all the people that I like's videos.
Right.
There's probably I've probably subscribed to maybe 200 or 300 channels, and of those 200 or 300, there's probably 50 or 60 guys that I really really care about that I'm looking forward to their videos all the time. And that's hard, man. That's like
Yeah.
almost a part-time job to just like watch
Right.
those videos, comment, and it takes a lot of energy to really come up with a unique comment, something that's not like copy and paste.
Right.
And it's like when you get into those upper echelons of, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 subscribers, it's like it's almost like turns into a full-time job. And
Yep.
that transcends into real life, like I would almost rather have, five really great friends
Hmm.
than 100 or 200 so-so friends.
Right. That's right. That's a quality over, yeah, quality over quantity there.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it in a nutshell. I mean, why didn't you just say that to begin with? I
Yeah,
didn't have
I couldn't think about it, and it just popped in my head.
to. But yeah, man, that's the scary part about doing the whole YouTube thing is I don't want to ever bite off more than I can chew. I want to be as genuine as possible, and I'm sure like a lot of us are the same way. I don't ever want to be that guy that when you read my comment, it looks like a copy and paste comment.
Right. Right. But see, yeah, if you look at somebody like Michael Johnson, Johnson drummer,
Yeah,
he's got like a ton of subscribers, but you know what? He always
yeah,
puts like a real comment down every time, and so I guess it must be his job to to look at that because he looks at everybody's videos and he makes really good comments. He'll put some detailed stuff on it too.
yeah, and not only that, whenever I comment on any of his videos, he
Hmm.
always comments back,
Yep.
and not only that, he'll like if I'll comment something, he'll comment something, and I'll comment something, and then he'll comment back and he'll be like, you're welcome, or thank you, or like just real
Yeah.
polite. And it's like almost like you first of all, I know you're super busy. You don't have
Yeah.
to do that. But then you go and do it anyway. And it's almost like man, you're making me look bad. Like you're so nice and you're so genuine, and it's just like I don't even
Yeah. But
know
see,
what to do sometimes.
well, that's what draws people to him too, like that, because
Yeah.
he is like that. He's real. People like genuine people like that. They really do.
So I I don't know how much studio experience you have, but I want to know what you prefer. You prefer to be on stage or in the studio?
Uh, on stage, man, being in front of the people. To me, I just like being around all those people. That's an energy you can't capture, and it don't matter if it's 10 or if it's 1,000. To me, it's like the same. If somebody's into it, they're into it. You just don't like to go. I've been to play clubs where you're like, oh man, why's everybody looking this way? We're over here playing, and it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Then you kind of like feel bad. Then I'm like, oh, I'd rather be in the studio then. But but at the same time, I've been in the studio and recorded, and then I really enjoy that process of being in the studio, you know, because it's so cool being able to like hear actually what your drums sound like when they are sweetly mixed to like a perfection. I'm like, whoa, my kick sounds like that. Oh, my toms sound like that. You never hear that live.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this thing all booming? And it makes you like play better because I've actually like recorded songs in the studio because I could hear a different thing going on, and then I couldn't replicate it live because it didn't sound the same.
Yeah.
I couldn't get that same feel, and I couldn't hear the same thing I was hearing in the studio.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy that you said that because it happens to me all the time. Like I'll get a sound and then I love that sound. And even when in my drum covers, like I'll record something and I'll be like, "Oh, that was awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to save this as a template and use it for the next song." Never works. Never sounds the same. I don't know why I haven't pinned it down, but it never ever works.
Well, I'll tell you what though, man, that last cover you did with Amy and that No Doubt, man, that snare, ooh, dude. I don't know what you
Yeah.
did, but you had that Joker dialed in. I don't know. You need to save. I don't know if you saved that or not, but man, that sound, man. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I commented on that snare sound because
Yeah,
that
you
was,
did.
man,
Yeah.
that was off the chain with that snare, man.
Well, first of all, it was a brand new head, so there was that. Second, I've been adding this so I use Logic Pro, and in Logic Pro they have this plugin, this reverb plugin that gates your snare.
Hmm.
So I'm not an engineer or anything, but I think what it does is it kind of like makes an echo of your snare, so that when you hit it, like you don't even notice it, but there's like a millisecond between the real hit and the echo hit, so that it kind of almost sounds like this weird vacuum going on.
Yeah,
So every time you hit, it's like whoosh, whoosh,
yeah.
and it just cuts through. And so I discovered that maybe like 3 or 4 songs ago. And in this song, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because of the way that they recorded the guitars and how it's panned, and then the snares in the middle. and the reverb gate is like kind of like in between what's going
Yeah,
on. Um, but yeah, it just brings that snare like right to the top, and it's just like cracking in your ears.
and it was, dude. That was awesome. That's that was just awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see if it
Yeah,
translates to the next song.
we're waiting for part number 2 to come up. See what's going to happen.
Yeah. Oh man, acoustic drums. It's a love hate story,
There you go, man. So like, come on, let's go.
man. That's great. Let's see. I want to know if I have any more drum questions for you. Let's see. Oh, one last one. Okay. If you could play on any one famous drummer's kit, whose would it be?
Carter Buford.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. Not
Yeah.
Tommy Lee going upside down and
Well, I played on Tommy Lee's kit. We actually opened for them back in the day at a club called Upstairs, I think is what it was, in
no
Blacksburg,
shit.
Virginia. Yeah, and then this is when Vince Neil wasn't the singer then. I can't remember that dude's name. Gosh, I can't remember his name. The dark-headed guy that was with Motley Crue at the time, and they had that pork. I don't want to say pork pie. I can't even think of the name. Anyway, Tommy's Lee kit was like it was like so big it took up most of the stage at this club, that was there. The club had it held like 1,500 people. It was a still good sized club, but it was actually upstairs. And then so when we were on our dressing room, they was like, "Hey man, Tommy Lee wants to know if you could just play his kit since there's no room to really set up yours." I'm like, no, no, tell him move his stuff. No, dude. Hey, but I got to play that drum kit, man, and oh my goodness, dude, it was a definite experience on that. And then playing that big kick drum, that's hard. I
Really?
couldn't get I couldn't get that pedal to bounce, man. I was like,
Huh.
I was like stomping, but man, you talk about a big like a boom that would come at you from this way, and then where he had his rack tom, and then this floor tom, the gap in it was like this wide. So I wasn't doing any fills. I was like, yeah. And his cymbals, man, it was like UFOs. Them things were so huge and they were so loud. But I got to play his kit, and it was so cool, and I got to meet him, and shake his hand, thank you so much, and then he gave me some sticks and signed a drum head for me and all that. And he goes, "I really appreciate you doing that, so we ain't gotta move stuff around." I'm like, but dude, that was I was the one that should be saying that. I couldn't even talk around the man. Yeah, but I didn't realize how skinny he was, though. He's like tall, but man, he's like super, super skinny. Super skinny.
Huh.
But watching him drum, man, you're like, how can this skinny guy with the sticks are like the same size as his arms play the way that he does and to do the stuff that he did? Oh, it's just like so cool and so awesome. But I did tell him the story about me, that he's the one that got me playing. I
So,
was
like, what was his reaction to that?
Oh man, he was just like, oh yeah. He goes, man. He goes, it's so great to hear, And he was just like so appreciative, like that I would come to him, and I'm like, man, you're a star. I'm just a regular old dude, man. But he was like so. I'd like to. He was like so humble and like down to earth. I guess because he wasn't drunk or high, like you were, like like they normally were. But yeah, but his reaction was like, and like I said, it was so cool. And then to be able to meet the person that inspired me to play, and then
Yeah.
for him to say, well, thank you for, choosing him. Kind of thing. I was like, wow, man. I was just like blown away. Like so I said, I was kind of tongue tied. I didn't know what to say to him. Kind of like when I met Carter Buford for the time. I was like, how you doing? How you doing? My name's Carter. I'm like, nah, my name's Steve. And I, you see something and you can hear it in your mind, and it just turns everything around. And I just felt like a big dork. I'm like, oh my goodness, man, I'm leaving now. And he signed a big old thing, and we had a nice conversation too, man. So it was like cool. So I got to meet the guy that inspired me, and then the guy that actually that I guess I look up to the most is when I met Carter Buford too, and then so I've like, met my people on that, then that's I was like so happy, so happy. So, but like kit wise, I want to play Carter's.
That's that's such an awesome story, man. Like you yourself are super humble because like I would be really proud and I would probably bring it up that I've played for 1,500 people and that I played on Tommy Lee's set and that I've played here and I've done this and I've done that, but you haven't mentioned any of that.
Yeah, it's just because it's all about the playing, because it ain't really about me. If somebody asks, I'll say it because, what I've done, it's not a big deal. It's all I like living in the moment. Somebody asks you, you tell them, and then if they don't, I'm not gonna bring it up
Yeah.
because I ain't about the bragging and stuff. I want to see what we're doing now. I want to say, hey, what can we do right now? What happened. Hey, that's all cool. And you always get like the good stories, but man, I like the new stuff that's happening, man. I want to see what's going on. I'm like, what we going to do?
Awesome, man. That's so cool. Like I take the same approach. I learned a lot, and I think I learned it from my uncle, just how to conduct yourself as a musician. And
Hmm.
he's been on. I don't know what the actual number is, but he's been on hundreds of records. And if you saw him on the street or if you had dinner with him, you would never ever know.
Right.
Never know unless you asked him. Like, what do you do? Oh, I play drums. Oh, really? Well, who do you play for? I play for James Taylor.
Yeah, you
Like,
might have heard of them.
it's like
Maybe.
it's just crazy. So like I learned that from him too. Like I don't ever brag. Um, if anyone asks, I'll be more than happy to tell because they like you said they're it's just great stories. It's good to have a conversation about something like that. But I'm not gonna ever bring it up. I'm not ever gonna put it in anyone's face or anything
Hmm.
like that. And yeah, that's just like I feel like that's the right way to go about it. Like I don't ever like anyone putting anything in my face,
Right.
so I'm not gonna do that to anybody either.
Yeah, you're always going to be a professional.
Yeah.
It's about being professional.
Yep. Totally. Cool, man. Well, talking about professions, let's go to the next section where I'm an interviewer and you're
Okay.
interviewing for a job. So, well, first of all, I saw on your Facebook that you're self-employed. What's that all about?
Oh no, I'm not. I just. Uh, no, I actually work for Tractor Supply.
Oh,
I'm one of the managers up there, but I'm like,
oh,
hey,
cool.
I ain't giving them credit.
Yeah.
You know, they,
Screw them.
he said that's right. And now I'm going. Oh, they go, oh yeah, man, you ain't got a job no more. So I hope I get a job for you because I might get fired.
Oh wow, that's all right. Well, let's see. Okay, first question: what is your dream job?
Oh man, that right there would be to be in a touring band, not a cover band, original band. Now granted, if it's already like an established original band, and then I guess I'd be covering those songs, so it would be a cover and original. But that's what I love to do. I would love to have music be the I guess the provider for I guess my life to support my family. So it'd definitely be I would love to be a touring musician and then you know yeah, because I'd have a different approach now, because I'd still be able to have really great contact with the family. Because I think back when I was younger, I probably would have lost my family
Hmm.
because I'd have been like out there touring and doing dumb stuff. As
Yeah.
opposed to now, I'd be like calling, I miss you. Can you come see me? you know, I'd be like that now.
Yeah, yeah. Take them on the bus with you.
That's right. I go, come on, I'm gonna rent a U-Haul. Let's go. I'm gonna rent a U-Haul van for $20 a day.
Yeah, that's right. Retrofit it. Put a bathroom in there.
That's the thing, man. That would be the deal.
All right. Well, okay. So every other question that you answer, Answer it as if you were interviewing for your dream job, for that job of being a touring drummer.
Okay.
All right. So, what are your strengths?
My strengths are definitely dedication, definitely got loyalty, and always playing for the band, always playing for the band, and then I will learn the everything that needs to be learned, the dynamics, the songs, the having my input, taking constructive criticism. It's all I'm always like a true professional when it comes to it. It's this right here is it. I put everything into it. So my strength would be of just putting. I interject myself fully into it. It's not a halfway commit. I'm not gonna go 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out. Both feet are in. I go straight in every
Awesome.
time. Sometimes it gets me in trouble, sometimes it don't. But it's like this: if you're going to do something like that and you believe in it and you love it, man, I believe you go all in. You don't like, let me see, I'm gonna test a little bit. Nah, you go in. You go in, and you're confident in yourself, and you just go for it and do it.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, what about weaknesses? You have any weaknesses?
Yeah, that I go all in and. See, I think my greatest strength is probably my greatest weakness because as soon as I go all in and then and it's not that I would say maybe I could disappoint somebody else, but I think that I disappoint myself more than I do somebody else because you're feeling like I'm going in, but I'm not doing like as good as I should be. But they're like, yeah, you're doing great, but you're thinking,
Mhm.
man, no,
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I suck, and it's kind of weird of being able to have that because like say you have the confidence in it, but at the same time, your mind can do that. If you go all out and you're like, man, maybe I'm not. And that's you telling yourself that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I got to stop that. See, that's a weakness in that. I'm like, no, stop, just keep on going.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, that's it's isn't that so ironic that stuff like that happens? Your greatest strength can also be your greatest weakness, and it's just
Mhm.
like, man, the mind and life just seems to always play tricks on you. It's
It does.
crazy.
And it will happen in a split second. It'll just come out of nowhere. Like, oh, talking to me.
Yeah. Oh, totally, man. I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Um, oh, okay. So this question I wanted to ask you in the beginning, and I can't remember why I wanted to ask, but where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully alive.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
So and see, I would see myself, it's if I could actually, get on with, like some touring band or something like that. Believe me, I would. But I think right now, actually, what I'm doing now, it's like, well, of course, I think I see myself as like improving as like a better manager at work. I don't want to step up and go in and work any more crazy hours because I don't want to work the 40 that I got. And I tell them that every day.
Yeah.
But and to be better there, so I can actually have a better like a work and home life, and try not to bring my work home with me because it's so easy to bring it home. I'm getting a little bit better and a little better with it. I just want to be able to not clock out. I don't care about them no more. I see, I go and work. Hey, who are you guys? Hey, I'm the new manager. How you doing? So I'm reintroducing myself because I forgot about y'all. But
Yeah, exactly.
and then then actually I want to see where I can take with my playing of seeing with like running like rudiment stuff and seeing if I can play more running some more like some challenging songs just for myself. I want to see myself playing some of these like little crazy little I don't know, these little jazz things that just like blow my mind watching these guys do that because I can't sit down there and be like fluid and relax and be able to hit all
Mhm.
these little things that they do in little rolls. I'm like let's rock it out, kind of little bash a little bit, or I'll hit my country. Being from West Virginia and all, country's in my DNA. you so it's happening. It's
Yeah. So
happening
okay.
like that.
that's what I got reminded of why I asked that, because we were talking earlier about sound and how
Hmm.
you're using your iRig, and it made me think, okay, so you're using your iRig, you like it simple, but you also like to improve on yourself. So in 5 years, do you see uh, better equipment, better, anything to improve your playing, your channel, your
Uh,
everyday life?
well, I think with that right there, yes, because I'm looking, I'm waiting for like the Black Friday sale so I can see what stuff I can get. Yeah, get it cheap, man.
All right, yeah,
Yeah, so I'm like eyeballing a couple of things because I seen where they got that one program where you can actually like take the I think it's called stems or something where you can take the drums out of the mix
yeah,
and be able
yeah,
to play, because most of the times I play with the songs I play with the drums in it, and then so if I want to add something extra I got to hit what they're hitting plus extra, and then sometimes man I'll miss hit so to sound like a flam on,
yeah,
on the
yeah,
thing. I'm like, oh, it's staying, I ain't doing this thing again, I'm tired. But and then like I said, I want to add like so I can have like a two camera thing, because I always love seeing like different shots, having
yeah,
seeing everything roll back around, as opposed to just my iPhone up there just recording me from like one side like that, being to have two different angles so you can get two different views of it, bouncing back and forth and then mixing it so I can see, and improve and then and make the videos a little more. I don't know. I guess a little more better to from like a view standpoint and from a sound standpoint. I want to be able to have like that little bit of a like that fatter sound that that you can get from actually like mixing yourself. And then so you will actually be able to hear on YouTube what you hear in your headphones. Because when I hear it on my headphones and then I play it on YouTube, I'm like, man, they don't sound the exact same. So
yeah,
it's got to be. I don't know if like the iRig like shrinks down the thing, like the sound wise of it, and then not to mention too, then I find out too. I'm like, well, you know what? My playing ain't as clean as what I thought it was too.
yeah,
Why did I put this thing out?
yeah, yeah, man. The tape doesn't lie.
Yeah, it does not lie. Oh yeah.
You
I'm
know
like,
who you should talk to is Hube 83 drums.
mm-hmm.
He geeks out on sound. I think he uses different samples, and he gets like all into the mix and whatnot. If you get a chance, hit him up and ask him what he uses, because I don't know if you guys use the same brand of electric drums, but he definitely uses like some samples and I forgot what they're called, not triggers, but it's almost like there's these programs where you can even take like John Bonham sound and put him into your drums.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to him about it, man. He knows all
Oh,
about that stuff.
I'm gonna hit him up for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, do that. If that might be a quick fix to better your sound, fatten your sound.
And I think that it would be. Plus, it'll save me some time of trying to figure this out. Like, who? Tell me out, man. How,
Yeah,
how does this thing go? Think it ever save me the time, the pain
yeah,
you went through?
yeah. Exactly. And that's what's so great about this community is people are willing to help.
Hmm.
Like I've spent more than the 2 years that I've had my channel. I've spent a long time trying to dial in my sound. Um, I know a bunch of different engineers and producers that I've worked with, and I watch everything that they do. Anytime I was ever in the studio, I'd watch, what they plugged into, what they use, what preamps they use, what mics they use, what digital workstation they use. Like, and I kind of compiled all of that in my head and kind of cherry picked, the gear that I wanted to use in my studio.
Hmm.
And it took, if I were to calculate how much time it took for me to dial in my sound, I mean, that's like a good decade at least.
Right.
And I'm more than happy to like, share that information with anybody that would want to know, like, oh, how do you get that snare? Like, you're asking me that snare sound. Like, I don't care. It's not a secret to me. Like, if you want to try to, because I can't even replicate it myself. So it's like, if you want to try to replicate it, that's fine. Go ahead.
And then hit me up and tell me what you did.
So yeah, but that's the great thing about the community is like the guys are just more than happy to help, and I think it's just about talking shop. They love
Mhm.
talking shop. We all love talking drums. It's something that I think, because to each person it's a little bit different. So when you talk to that person, you say, "Oh yeah, there's so many similarities, but there's also so many differences. Like, oh, I didn't know you could do that way, or you could do this way." And it's just like super interesting to figure out what other people have figured out that you haven't figured out.
Right.
So yeah, I
Right.
would definitely talk to Hugh. He's totally into the sound part of videos and drumming and all of that stuff.
That's good to know. So I'm gonna hit him up because he's got really good sound on his too. He has
Yeah.
a really really good sound. He's got that crazy groove too, don't
Yeah, yeah. He'll just lock into a groove.
he? Yeah.
He won't even do any fills or anything, and
No,
it's just like, that's almost, to me, it's refreshing. It's almost better
it
to
is.
watch, and it's just like a guy that's just locked in, and it's almost like a teaser. Like I'm
Right.
waiting for and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden the end of the song happens, and it's like, oh shit, I watched the whole the whole video, and nothing happened, but it was great. It was
Yeah.
still amazing and awesome.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenon, man.
He is,
He's got
man.
his thing down, and I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, man, he is awesome, man. He's a great guy, man. Great drummer too. Yeah, he does, man. He's locked in. He's dialed in when he gets in that three, man. You can't do nothing to him. I bet you could throw a bomb in there. You could throw a grenade in there. His drum set will be gone, but he will still be grooving. It will be the sticks and him and no drums, but you're gonna. He'll still go.
It'll be like the cartoon where he's got like all black ash on him
Yeah.
and still going.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's okay. So let's see where I asked you about the 5 years. Um, what about mentors? Do you have any, and not like, not superstar mentors or Hollywood stars or music stars, but like personal? Is there anyone in your life that helped you along the way to become the person that you are, or be a better person um, that you might, like, if they weren't there, you might have fallen into the wrong path?
Yeah, because I would think actually when I started working, and then after the band thing, and I started working, and I actually I went to Walmart first, and then wasn't happening. It was it was kind of crazy. Then I went to Home Depot. Now there, I met a store manager, and he was actually a retired major from the Marine Corps. His name was Todd Hall. I'm going to say his name because he was so instrumental in actually helping me to become um, a stronger leader, and a more confident leader, and to really just and to really enjoy coming to work, instead of hating it so much. Even I joke about hating work and stuff. I still go, and I do enjoy whatever I do, but with him, he's the one that instilled that in me, like, man, this is your life. You just embrace it, and you go for it, and then he's the one that told me about the improvement of, like, just a little bit every day, a little bit every day, a little bit every day, a little bit every day. That's all you need to do, just a little bit every day. And so, like I said, he really, really was an instrumental mentor and developing the way that I am now. So I'm just like, no matter what it is, I'm going to try to improve a little bit. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna have my days. I ain't gonna be so happy. We always have those bad days or whatever. But it's not gonna be like, oh man, this sucks. Man, I don't care about it. Nah, dude, man, it's like, hey, it happens. I go sit down there. Guess what I do when I'm feeling that way? I pop on the thing and I go play some drums. I plug in
Yeah.
YouTube and just let it start playing some songs, and then I'm like, let's go. But and then he was one. He was so I would say he is definitely like a, a huge had a huge influence, and then developing me, and then he ended up leaving and going to California.
Hmm. What
Yeah,
part of California did he go to?
it was Long Beach, I
Long
believe is where
Beach.
it was. Yeah,
Oh.
because his wife was a volleyball player for one of the schools out there. She's about 12 foot tall. And, and her shoulders were like as wide as a bridge. Man, it was just amazing. It was crazy seeing how she was. It was like all the way out here, and she was super big. But you know, that was she went to school out there, one of the colleges out there. She's a big volleyball player out there, so she wanted to go home. So that's where
Okay.
they went. And then I just carried what he, you know, instilled with me, you know, for the whole time. So, you know, that just helped me, you know. And then, you know, and granted, I went from like one job to the next. I went from Home Depot to Lowe's to Tractor Supply. But, you know, that's just where I, you know, like the path carried me, you know. And then, because the only reason I went to Lowe's because one of my friends was up there working. He taught me to go on, so I went. And then my head manager, he got fired from Lowe's, and then he went to Tractor Supply, and he taught me into going there.
Ah,
But
that's
you know, but I think it's because I developed those relationships with certain
yeah.
managers. I'm like, you know, I can relate to them, you know, and then we got each other and we worked well together. So you know, I wanted to still keep like some type, because you know, if you can have like 2 or 3 people that are just like a tight bond, it don't matter what situation you're in, you know, you can handle it. If you can have like the worst employees, the worst whatever, but you know, you can handle it. If you got that little, all you need is that little tiny little that little nucleus, and you know, if you got a tight nucleus, man, you can handle anything. It'll be stressful, but you know, you can do it. You got, you know, he's got my back, you know, she's got my back, so I'm good. I don't care. Let's go.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know.
I mean, my wife is going through the exact opposite right now at her work, where she doesn't feel like she has anybody or that she could trust anyone, and it takes a toll, man. I could
It
see
does.
it, and so for you to be able to have one or two guys that you can really trust, yeah, it means everything because I see the
Mhm.
opposite end, and it's not good, man.
Right.
It's really stressful, and yeah. So I'm glad for you. I'm happy for you that you've got that because the alternative sucks.
Yeah, and it does, man. And then it does, you know, and it's just terrible that she has to, you know, go through it like that. Tell her though, hey, she can get you and me on the phone. We got her back. She just get up there and like FaceTime us or something and just hold the phone. Look, like talk to these people. What are y'all doing? Get to work. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
that's what we were going back and forth on Messenger, and I told you like right after dinner
Hmm.
I was gonna go do some business meetings, and it's actually her. She's trying to start her own thing. So
Oh, cool.
you know that's the motivation when you work at a place where the culture is bad
Hmm.
and it's driving people out. Certain people are just gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna take the bull by the horns and I'm gonna do it myself.
Right.
So that's what she's trying to do, and I'm trying to help her out. So we'll see where it goes. You know.
Yeah, but that's cool being your own boss. You're like, oh yeah, I'm not feeling good today. I'm calling out sick. Okay, you're fired. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's the thing. Like when you're the boss, you can't take any days off. You know,
You
like
can't. That's right.
I mean, I actually own two or three. I own three companies, and they all like I've scheduled it so that they're all like part time. So I have
Hmm.
a full time job of a bunch of part time jobs,
Right.
but and it might sound like less work, but it's not. It's more work,
No.
and
Yeah.
it's all the time. It's at all hours of the day. So yeah, it, it's rare that I have pockets of time because in those pockets of time I'm doing things like this, the interview.
Right.
So and then I still have to find time for my baby girl, and it's just like it's crazy, man.
Yeah, so you're juggling all those things, but see that takes a lot of discipline. You know, that's a lot of self discipline. Most people, there's a lot of people that don't have that, and then having the motivation to like, you know, I got to do this. I'm doing this. You know, and that's why you can people that ain't like doing their own business, they're working for somebody because of that fact. They're like, you know what? I know I can't do it. They think they can until they actually have to get down there and actually like do it. And you handle all aspects, and you find out, oh well, it's easier for me to work for somebody, you know. That's why I always respect people that do their own business, you know, because that motivation and dedication, and then plus the unknown and uncertainty, you know, that that comes with that. It's a little scary, but you show no fear and you just go for it, man. Me, I got the utmost respect for people like that. You know,
Well,
man,
I'll tell you a little secret. It sounds good on the outside, but there's the great unknown, right? There's the
mm-hmm.
unknown of what's gonna happen, and there's no guarantee of tomorrow. But there's also the tiny unknowns that most people don't even talk about. There'll be times where I'm like at the computer and I'm doing a task and I finish the task, and there's so many other tasks that I'll just like stare into space, and I'll be like, what am I doing? What the hell am I doing? And it's just like these little pockets of unknown that I'm like, am I even doing the right thing? Am I even doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And then that kind of fades away, and then you like focus in on the next task, and it pays to be organized. You need to be
Yeah.
super organized, over determined, and all of that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, like sometimes you'll just be in this like it feels like a like like you're in a hurricane and just everything is like
Yeah.
whirling around, and you're like thing that you need to do but out of your grasp, and you just kind of just got to focus in on one, and then bring it down and focus on it and do it, and then let it go, and it's just like it's
It's overwhelming like that. You can get
yeah,
overwhelmed easily.
for sure. Yeah, man, it's not for everybody. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is definitely for sure. That's why I say, you have to be self-motivated when you do that. That's, man, people don't understand. Oh, yeah, but work in your own business. We got people come through there where they have like these food trucks that we fill the propane up with at work. They're like, man, I'd love to do your job. Man, you don't understand. They were like, how many hours we got to go here? We're driving someplace and, making all this food, and, we don't know if we're going to sell it all.
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
making an investment like that. You're like, you don't know. And then you have to be driving yourself to go to work, because some of these jokers I work with, they working in a food truck. They be out of business in a week.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, and that's the thing. Like when we were talking about earlier about what you do after a failure, like, and it doesn't mean like I'm not talking about failure as in you shut down your business. I'm talking
Right,
about that day you didn't sell anything.
right,
Do you pack it all up and you close up shop? No,
right.
man, you go out the next day and you try a little bit harder, and
Mm-hmm.
you try a little bit harder. It's it's like I went to school. I got a fine arts degree in creative writing, and a buddy of mine who was he took the game design program, and I never wanted to be in video games at all. They taught you how to do writing for video games, for commercials, for movies, like anything entertainment, blogging, um, even a little bit of journalism. Like so, basically anything entertaining, I
Mm-hmm.
studied for writing. And so when I was studying the video game part, I was like, ugh, I don't want to do video games. It's too much work. It's just it's not my cup of tea. Well, my best friend in college was doing the game design program, and he needed a writer, so he called me. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I'll do a favor for you, and I'll help you write this video game. 4 years later now, we've got our own gaming company, and we're writing
Oh,
games and whatnot. And so we started on a game. We put it into this PlayStation contest.
mm-hmm.
It got to the top 10, and it didn't get any further. So, and we had a team of about 5 or 6 people. Once, we once we didn't get any further in that contest, all those other people stopped working on the game, and it was just me and my buddy. And we could have easily thrown in the towel and been like,
Right,
you know what, it's not working. Uh, let's cut our ties now, like cut our losses. But
right.
no, we kept at it. We're still keeping at it. We're still trying to make the game even better and even better and even better, and we're not going to stop until we release the game
Right.
and see what happens. And even then, you still got to push it. You got to keep going. You got to keep
Yep.
going because it's those people that stop that never like they could have you could stop and you never know that next day might have
Hmm.
been that day that you make it,
That's right.
you know? So it's only when you stop that it becomes a true failure.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head when you said that too. You're right. You're absolutely right. But so many people do. They stop. I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys are going, man. I keep pushing it. See, the hard part of it is, when it does happen, then you got to come up with, part two, and then
Part
part
two.
three, and then you got,
Yeah.
and then we got to make that even like another step higher, and then, but see, that would be like a nice thing to have, like, oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man. I mean, it puts a lot of pressure because, like right now it's just us two.
hmm
Once the money starts coming in, people are going to want a better game. So
right,
then your team gets bigger. You're now you're paying employees. Now you have more responsibility. Now you have more
yeah,
pressure, and
yeah,
it mounts. So it's pretty crazy. Like running your own business, like it never gets easier. It
that's
only gets
right,
harder.
that's right, that's right. But that you improving every day, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
That's what
and
it is.
that's exactly what it is, man. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. You sure you don't want to open up your own business, man?
Yeah, man. Hey, I like getting up there working with somebody. I'm like, yeah, go just pay me. I ain't working at 40 hours though. See, only time I would get up there and go beyond something like that, it had to be something that that I love. Because when you love something, it don't feel like work.
Yeah, totally.
Work. It's not that I ain't gonna say I love my job. But I don't hate it. It's just but it feels like work when I go to work. It's
Yeah,
work. So when I want to be done, then I want to be done, and like I said, learning not to bring it home.
yeah, totally. I mean, it's they the man brainwashes you
Yeah.
to bring it home, to always have it on your mind.
Yep. Yep. And that's the thing, man. I'm like, man. Ah.
So then that's why there's things like drums and
Yes.
uh, football and basketball and all these
Right.
distractions, whatever, to kind
Yeah.
of like just give you that just a little bit enough of sanity so that you can
Yeah.
go back into the insanity the
That's
next day.
exactly right. Get to join it to the little fantasy world so you can escape for a little bit. And then,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh my
right.
gosh, where am I at? I'm back in it again.
Back into the grind, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's not talk about work anymore.
All right.
If I were able to give you the power to be a touring drummer, I definitely would hire you. So, case closed. You're hired. Now, let's get to the fun questions. The get to know you questions, because I know you're married.
All right.
These aren't going to be speed dating questions. They're just going to be get to know Steve Osborne a little bit better. This first question is actually really interesting because you're going on a diet for your bodybuilding. So
Mhm.
I want to know, are you and does it change? Are you a meat eater or a vegetarian?
Oh, meat eater.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No hesitation.
No, man, it's like right into it. I'm not a big like red meat. Every now and then I'll have it, but I'm chicken. I just love my chicken. So I ain't giving up the chicken unless they said it's going to kill me tomorrow. Then I say, okay, well, I'm gonna get some fake chicken someplace or something. But yeah,
Awesome.
definitely meat.
Great. Okay, good. Yeah. Same with me. Like I feel like it's not a meal unless it has a little bit of meat in it.
Right, and it's I'm happy for the vegetarians, that they have the vegans that are out there, that's great, and I really appreciate that. But grew up on the meat, so I'm
Yeah.
staying with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was vegan for a little while and yeah, it just wasn't for me. Like I appreciate the ones that are um but yeah, I same thing. Like I love a steak now and then. I love a
Yeah.
burger now and then.
Oh yeah.
And and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
That's right. I'm with you. Second. Dude, I'm right there with you, man. If anybody says any difference, I got your back.
Yeah, nice. Oh man, that's cool. Okay. How about when you go on vacation? Do you like to camp or do you like to go to a hotel?
Oh, dude, this hotel, man.
Hotel?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm not no tent sleeper, man. Some people enjoy that. I just can't do it. That's like the people enjoy fishing and hunting and stuff. Man, man, I'd rather go and go visit a museum
Okay.
or something like that. That's what I like to go. I'd rather go see sites like that. I'm not a big woodsy person, nature person like that. Yeah, give me the hotel and the continental breakfast.
Nice. Cool. Well, is there anywhere that you haven't been that you want to go to?
Oh yeah, see, and that's kind of like crazy, but see, I want to actually go up to Gettysburg. I want to
Oh,
visit that
nice.
place. I really do. I was like some of them historical sites. And there's some other places I want to go to as well, because the wife and I were going to go and renew our vows in Vegas
Nice.
sometime in 2020, because she wants to have the Elvis renewal.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. So I'm going to make sure I hit up the old Heart Attack Bar and Grill. But see, it's going to be cool because I wanted to visit. I've always wanted to visit Vegas too, just to see all that stuff there. And then at that time, they used to have that thing where you could be like a rock star for like a day, but that thing already closed down. I was looking forward to that. I wanted to go do it. Man, I wanted to do it, but it's closed down. So, my biggest thing is Gettysburg. I want to go visit that site because I've been to DC a few times, and man, I love DC and went to all the museums I visited, especially like Arlington Cemetery. I don't know if you've been up there before or not, but
No, never.
man, you can feel it. And then we went to the Holocaust Museum at Washington D.C. And then one of the last things that you get to is it shows, I think it's like 5,000 pairs of shoes or something.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man, you can feel the emotion. It just makes you almost like start crying. You can
Yeah.
feel it. I don't know if you're like a real spiritual person, and believe and all that, but I do. And then, I could just, yeah, I could just feel that these people's spirits were still there. And, you could feel the sadness when you walk into that room. It's like, whoa, the impact of that. I was like, man, I made a big post on Facebook about it too. And I was like, that was one of the most impactful things I've ever seen. Of going to like, just going to the museum and just seeing. Nobody said nothing to me. I just saw this like, wow, it was
Yeah.
really, 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 really emotional.
Yeah, there's two places I've been that actually three places that I've been that have c- given me that same feeling. Um Ground Zero, the 9/11
Oh,
memorial. It's such a it's like what's the right word? It's so sobering to
mhm,
be there and know that that's where it happened.
right,
It's just like, whoa. So it was that place, Dealey Plaza in Dallas. Just walking into this place that I've seen since a kid,
hmm,
and it's got this grandeur to it. The place where JFK was shot,
right,
and then you go there, and it's this little plaza, and the building is just like right there, and everything is like right in your face, and there's an aura to the place.
right.
When you walk in, you feel it. And then the third place was the USS Arizona in
Oh,
Honolulu.
yeah,
So you can still see oil in Pearl Harbor from the Arizona, and it's like it's just it's sobering, man, to know that all those people died, and yeah, man, it's so I usually like to try to close with this. Anyone
hmm,
that I know that I interview that I know has spent time in the service, I always love to thank the person for their service and for you know risking everything for us stupid guys that just like to party and not risk anything. um, so yeah, thank you because especially now talking about these sites and talking about the history of the nation. I don't think, especially nowadays, um, a lot of that gets lost, and I want guys like you to know that it's never lost on me. I always have the utmost respect for our service members and the police force and the ambulance, like all those people that risk it all for us. Um, I always like to say thank you.
Oh man, well, thank you, man. I'm with you too, man. Anybody that serves and any type of service, public service like that, definitely deserves it. Especially you get the first responders in the military.
Yeah.
That's a tough job, And if you watch Live PD, you can,
Oh yeah.
I live in the county where the Richland County one
Oh
is.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I didn't realize that our neighborhood was that bad.
Yeah, man. I watch Live PD a lot. I also watch First 48 a lot.
Yeah,
Crazy shows, man. Crazy.
yeah, man. Are you an ID addict?
My wife is.
Oh
My
yeah,
wife,
dude.
she literally has to fall asleep with ID on. And I'm like, are you planning something? Like
I better not go to sleep. She
yeah.
knows how to kill me and get away with it. They'll never find my body.
Yeah. So I'm telling everybody now, if I end up missing,
Yeah. Just go to her first, check her
yeah.
out. That's
Oh
hilarious.
man. Yeah, no, I love that channel. She loves that channel. We love watching all of that, like mystery and like even I was telling you I like watching the BBC shows, like all
Yes.
those English UK crime shows. They're amazing. I just love that stuff.
Yes, man. Gotta love our TV, huh?
Oh yeah. That's probably the biggest distraction right there.
Yeah.
So let's see. I asked about places you wanted to go. Um, do you have anything planned in the future to go somewhere interesting?
Well, for us, if we're going to take that trip to Vegas, that right there is like the next on the radar. Well, actually, for me, since I'm like so hungry because I'm like waiting for food, it's getting this show in December, so I can, I already told you what I'm hitting up at the Cheesecake Factory. It's
Yeah.
on. I'm probably going to get up there and I'll put it on my YouTube channel. Look what I just ate. I'm gonna have a food baby. I'm gonna take a picture of a food baby.
Yeah, man, you should document like every day what your dinner is, and then
Oh yeah,
once
man.
you get to that Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, check this out. Yeah, see, I'm thinking about actually doing a video and like the diet that I came up with because a couple years ago I actually like hired an online trainer so I can understand about how macros, how they all work, and then I
Oh
found
yeah.
out food's food because the first time I did it I used like ice cream every day. Every day I use ice cream, and then the next time I did it, I did ice cream every day again and potato chips. And I just wanted to see. And then I was able to come in, I ain't like Mr. Shredded guy or big guy, anything like that. But I was able to still come in lean where you could see like abs, you see a couple of abs. And then so now I'm doing this thing. I'm like, dude, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do Fruit Loops and Rice Krispie treats and the Cocoa Pebbles. It's like my carb source, to show that food is food, and I'm like, dude, so it does work, it really does. But I plan on to get up here and like laying out how I came up with the macros that I chose, the calories that I chose to, and then because so far I've been running the thing that I came up with 12 weeks ago. I've been steadily like losing like 2 pounds a week.
Yeah.
It's been a steady process. So I'm not changing nothing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's why I started out way back too, because I wanted to lose it slowly. I
Yeah.
wanted to lose
Yeah.
weight slow. But yeah, man, love my Fruit Loops because
I
whenever we're done, I'm having Fruit Loops, man.
I can't wait for that video, man. I want to watch that cheesecake video. I want to be there with you at the Cheesecake
Saying
Factory.
yeah. See, I'm like, I see, and I won't be able to go in and get it because I'm gonna look like an Oompa Loompa with that can on and stuff, you know. So, and I don't want people like looking at me. I get all self conscious and everything. So I'm gonna order it and have like my wife or daughter go in there and pick it up. Then I'm just gonna be like a wild animal eating this thing.
Oh man, that's awesome. We'll have it on video because I want to
I
see
will.
that.
They're like, oh my goodness, what? Oh my god, he's keep away from his mouth, man. Somebody's gonna get a finger bit off or something.
That's cool, man. So where is that? Where's
The show is going to be
the
in
show?
Charlotte. It's like right outside of Charlotte. It's like a little town. I think it's called Concord, but it's still Charlotte, North Carolina. And I forget the high school that the show is at, but it's called the OCB. What is it? Charlotte something or other. If you go to their website, it shows it on there. You know, it has it, but it's on December the 7th. So I think it's about 12 weeks out right now. I think it's what it is. You know. So if I keep getting up there and going back and forth on like the days, I don't know for sure. All I know is that I'm just like hungry all the time, all the time, and so it kind of messes with my brain. I'll be talking that thing. I'm like, oh, look at that. Oh yeah, I'm back. Let me get back to reality. What happened? What just happened? Oh my goodness!
Floating
man.
Fruit Loops in your vision.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait, man. This is my Fruit Loop day, man. It's on. I go to Sam's and get the big old box of them, man.
Oh, you're not joking,
Dude. I got this right by my foot, man. That's why I said it's going to get hurt whenever we get done.
murder it, man. Murder
Yeah.
it.
It's going to be on, man. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And I see, okay. I'll get to talk about some of the stupidest stuff. I'm like, Mega Watch, be like, man, what an idiot this guy is, man.
Oh wow, who cares, man?
That's right, man. We're having fun. Yeah, me too, dude. I'm having a blast, man.
That's so cool. So I want to ask you that. I ask everybody this one because I always get like some crazy responses. Do you have any pet peeves? And if so, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Stupid people.
Okay, that's pretty
For
easy.
real. Because that's like straight up. I'm like, all they have to do is use a little common sense, because I just, and it seems like that the people that are like that also are all the ones they're so quick to like fly off the handle and get mad. Like,
Yeah.
those are those ones. You're like, really? Come on. Are you like that much of a, idiot that you just, something happens, you ain't got to get up there and get mad and ready to like fight somebody, or somebody cut you off a traffic and somebody wanted to fight. I'm like, you're an idiot, man. You know what I'm saying? Why get up there? You can get like a little mad, but it don't mean you're gonna want to go and shoot somebody and kill somebody or you do something. But that's it. So my pet peeve is stupid people, and probably some of the people that I work with will be watching this video. And yes, I'm talking about you. They won't know. It'll be awesome. Like, was you talking about me, man? Yeah. Oh no. You figure it out. Dude, I'm gonna get fired for sure. You watch. I'm gonna make a video. Man, guess what? I just got fired. Then you'll see, like, yeah.
Well, I want to put a disclaimer. I'm not responsible.
Yeah. It's not Kelly's fault. I'm an idiot all by myself. So there we go.
You said it, not me.
That's right, man.
Oh, that's great. See, I love asking that one because I have no idea what's gonna come out of people's mouths. It's crazy.
It is, man. That's one of my favorite parts of when I'm watching interviews too. I'm like, what are they going to say? What are they going to say? What is going to come out their mouth? Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's pretty awesome. I love doing that. So I already know this next question because you already answered it. But I want to kind of get a more in-depth answer.
Okay.
So the question is, are you an early riser or a night owl? You already kind of said that you don't like to wake up early.
Yeah, you got that right. Dude, yeah, you know me already. Hey, good.
So, what are you, a night owl or do you just like to sleep?
I am. Well, see, both, but I'm definitely like a night owl because I don't know for some reason. I guess I've always been like this. I feel like if I go to bed too early, I'm gonna miss something.
Mm.
I don't know what I'm gonna be missing. I'll be watching like crazy stuff on TV and say I record like the old Hogan's Heroes, and my wife hates it. But I'm like always watching the Hogan's Heroes and stuff. I'm watching all these old shows. I'm like, oh, it's 3 o'clock. Maybe I need to get in bed because I could go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh,
Wow.
oh no, I'm tired. I'm gonna call out sick. I ain't feeling good day, man.
Uh,
Yeah, so definitely my thing is like I don't know. I've always been a night person, but I think that goes hand in hand with being like the musician because when I did that, that's why it was like perfect for me. We'd be at the club late at night and playing, and dude, I was energetic and I was all good to go, and then I wake up at 11 noon, whatever, sometime before 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? But and then I was like good to go. I know some people that if they sleep late like that, they go, oh, I got the worst headache. I feel terrible. Not me. Man, dude, I got no problem, like, laying down there and sleeping, like, man. And if I didn't have to worry about, like, using the bathroom or something, then shoot, I'd probably sleep longer.
that's crazy. I'm the exact opposite. I hardly ever sleep at all. I usually go to bed at 1 o'clock, and I'll usually wake up at 5 on average.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't need the sleep, and my wife hates it. She's a sleeper too.
Yeah.
And there'll be times like I'll wake up and I'll just be in bed and I'll be looking on my phone or whatever, and I'll just get bored and I'll like start like poking her. she'll
Hey,
get
what are you doing?
she'll turn around and slap me in the face. But
Oh, man.
yeah, I just I've never been able to sleep. The only time I can sleep guaranteed is if I go on a long trip. Like there's been times where I've gone to Hong Kong and
Oh,
there's like I think like a 12-hour difference. So when you come back, your body's all messed up.
yeah.
And the first time I came back from Hong Kong, I slept for I think it was 20 hours.
Dude, you're my new hero.
It was crazy. I was like I woke up and it was almost the same time as I went to bed. I
Dude,
was like, what the?
I think it's a challenge, man. I'm going to try to get your record.
Do it, man. I want to know. I want to find out.
Oh,
You
my
gotta
goodness.
you gotta go to you gotta go halfway around the world and
Yeah,
come
I'd
back.
be able to. Man, that's cool, man.
No, it wasn't cool. It was trippy. I woke up and I was like, what time is it? It messes with your mind. For the next, I think, couple of days, I was just like, I didn't know what was what. I didn't know what was going on. It was weird.
They get y'all discombobulated and everything. You're like, oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute. It's the 23rd century. I've been asleep this long.
That's a great word, man. Discombobulated. I love it. So, okay, let's see. Do you have a favorite book?
I'm not really much of like a book reader, and I probably should be. I guess I don't know if I should be or not be or anything like that. So my favorite book, oh yeah, The Ultimate Bathroom Reader, and you know where that's
What
at.
what is that?
Oh yeah, well that right there, I keep that on the back of my toilet in the bathroom, and it's got like a bunch of like dumb little facts, like so that's when my reading is getting done. So that probably has to be my favorite book then, The Ultimate Bathroom Reader, because I'm not, man. It's like some people rather read a book. I'd rather watch the movie.
Okay, well, do you have a favorite movie?
Oh yeah, man. My favorite movie of like probably like all time has got to be Animal House.
Oh, okay.
I like all those movies from like back in the day, like and like Fast Times at Ridgemont High,
Ah,
Better Off Dead and 16 Candles, you know.
yeah.
That was like my era. Those are my movies right there. And then I'm also hooked on this Ozark show on Netflix. The
Oh, okay.
Ozarks. Man.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've never watched it.
Oh yeah, dude, it's out of control, man. You get a chance to watch it, you're like, what? Oh, that's awesome.
Cool, man. Is that on? That's on
It's on
Netflix, right?
it's yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay.
And then of course, I'm a Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, follower.
Are
You
you
know,
are you one of those guys that are like not doomsday prepper, but like wondering when the end of the world is gonna come and what's it gonna be like? Because I love those movies, like I Am Legend.
yeah.
What's that one with Denzel where he's blind?
Oh, that is some of the book,
What the
like
yeah
Elijah. I can't remember what the thing is, but yes, but that's very good one too. That is a good one too.
or The Road. You ever see The Road?
Yeah, The Road. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
those
I
are
love
all.
those movies.
I've never really like thought about it too much, and like as if it comes to like prepping, I'd probably be like dead like the next day because I ain't got nothing prep. I've got my box of Fruit Loops. To the once that runs out, I'm over, man. It's over for me. Like, oh, he's out of here. I'd have
Okay.
to be, I'd have to be like raiding or something like that, But you know what though? I am that one. We had the Hurricane Dorian. Remember that
Oh
was
yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to happen, but
yeah.
it turned, and then it got like they clipped our coast and hit Charleston pretty hard. But since I'm in like the Columbia area, right there in the middle, but not, of course everybody's rushing to get the water. So I was one of them peoples. Oh yeah, I got my couple cases of water, man. People ready to ready to like fight over the water and
Yeah.
stuff, man. You had to be like on your game and all that. Of course nothing happened, but I'm that guy that goes to the store and like, Dad, got it. Who bought all the bread? Yeah. And to see when people buy the water, I think about that too because I look at the people that buy the water. I'm like, now how many of y'all actually really drink the water? Because I'm pretty sure y'all the ones buying all the soda. When I want to go get a Pepsi, there ain't none. But yeah, there's plenty of water whenever normal hours. You know what I'm saying? So, but now I buy a lot of water because I drink like a gallon and a half a day. So then therefore I'm like, man, I buy it all the time. Now you guys are buying my water. Now why aren't y'all buying the Pepsi now? You know?
Oh man, that's
You
hilarious.
know what I'm talking about though, man? It's like, man, dude, I don't even know what made me come up with that stuff, but that happened. I was like, yeah, that cracks
Ah,
me up.
that's a comedy bit right there, man. You should save that for the road.
Yeah, get up there like, hey, yeah, but that happens, man. So,
It's funny because I was living in Houston when Hurricane Rita
oh,
and
that was a bad
Katrina
one.
came through.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, like it was crazy. The stores and the people and the traffic, and I never experienced anything like that. I grew up in Los Angeles where it was like earthquakes. You don't get no warnings, like
yeah, it's like, yeah,
it just comes. So with the hurricane, you get this warning, and it's like I was just the guy that was kind of like, oh, let's just write it out and see what happens.
right.
Nothing happened, and that time, uh, from hindsight, I made the right decision.
Hmm.
But you never know, man. It
You
could have
never know.
been it could have been really bad.
Yeah,
And me staying put, it might have been a bad decision. But
hmm,
it all worked out in the end. But it made me think after that, like, and then all these movies started to come out.
yeah,
Day After Tomorrow and all these
yeah,
crazy ass movies,
yeah,
Armageddon, and
yeah.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's ever since then, it's just like and I still haven't done anything to prep, but it's always
yeah,
on my mind. It's like, if it did happen, would I be ready? And yeah, I'm still not ready.
yeah. See, me neither. That's the thing. I'm just like, yeah. I guess what the thing is, is if you're going to survive it or you're going to make things happen, it's going to happen whether you prepped up or not. Because you got some of them preppers. It's like, are they ready? Well, let's go. We're going to go take your prep gear because we didn't have any.
Yeah.
We're hungry.
Man. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how many of those people that actually prep uh, could really fend for themselves, because it
Yeah,
would,
they
when
would
it
need.
comes down to it, it's gonna be pretty crazy.
And it is, man. I've heard you got some of them compounds, which I've seen some of them ones that just like on Netflix, something like out in Montana, that horse riding, gun toting. Them jokers look pretty scary. They got their compound and everything set up. You ain't happening there. So
Yeah.
it's like, and it's like, and it really, and then you think about it, is it like a world that you want to live in? Where you have to worry about, going to those cowboy days like that. Man, I'm gonna walk down here and get shot. Somebody's
Yeah.
going to kill me just for no reason. I'm like, I want to live in a world like that. I don't know. I want to live, but I don't know. Hopefully it never happens.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping. I'm just like, dude, I just want to keep on, man. We can get up there and have like awesome conversations and like watch each other's videos and stuff, and post cheesecake eating videos and things like that. We'll have a cheesecake eating contest or something. We'll get up there and pop on a channel or something. Yeah, that's all I'm thinking about. We'll keep on doing that, and hopefully nothing gets up there and happens.
Yeah, let's hope, man. I don't want to. I don't want to even. I mean, I love watching the movies, but I couldn't even imagine being in that scenario.
Yeah, no.
All right, man. Well, let's see. Let's do one more question, and we'll wrap it up. Let's see. What's a good one? I've got like this list of questions over here, and I've just kind of been picking and choosing. But I want to do one that's kind of newer that I haven't used yet. Okay, this might not be the best question, but what was your favorite subject in school?
Well, I guess when the bell rang and we was gone.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I know, but in all seriousness, I mean, history. I just have a love for like the history. So I guess the only time I was reading the books like that was when I was in school and I had to, and then with like I just really I don't know what it is. I just always just had this love for like history, where things came from, and then what it's involved, what it's evolved into. And the other day I was watching this thing on History Channel about Hershey, coming up with that chocolate formulation that he came up with. He only paid that cat $100 to come up with that thing, and look how many billions
Wow.
Hershey paid homie $100. I'm like, I'm like, dude, look at what you made off of. And then plus, he gave his chocolate to the people that came up with, Mars, who came up with the Snickers bar and stuff like that. That was Hershey's chocolate that he sold to them. And it was like really slick, But I like that history stuff, like that. That's why I like that pawn shop show, like Rick Harrison. He'll always be, geeking out on some history. Now I can't geek out on too much history, but I like listening to it. I can listen to it all day long. And then when I go to a museum too, like you got the little placard there that'll say a bunch of things on it. Yeah, I'm that guy that's like, I'll read it. Oh, look, they even made this thing in Texas or something. They'll have a little stamp down there where they printed it, or something. I'm that guy. I just have to just like take all of that in. Oh man, I just love history. And I think it's why my daughter loves it so much too. She would really go see things like that. Go to museums and just really do it. So hopefully that'll give her and pass on. I'll let my grandkids, she'll do that and have it with the history. So history, always the long answer is that was my favorite subject.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I love history too. When I was a kid, I used to have this huge book of like reprinted newspaper clippings from like headlines from 1900 to whatever year it was that I got the book. I think it might have been like 92 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just flipping through it and you see like the Titanic in 1917, I think it was, and like all these just major events in history and things that you kind of like see on Jeopardy, like
Yeah,
like
right.
my wife will be like, how the hell do you know the answer to that? Oh, it's because I had that newspaper clipping book way back when. And then headlines, like headlines, they just like burn
Yeah,
into your skull.
yeah, they
So
do.
it's like
Yeah,
but yeah, like I love all that stuff too. I don't really geek out on it either, but it's really interesting to me, just like where we came from and the people and the lives that have lived before us and everything that they did in order for us to have the life that we have today.
right.
it's like when you look back, way back to the beginning, and I mean, I can't even imagine living without air conditioning.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
I don't know how they did it.
I don't either, man. It's crazy. So, thank you, ancestors,
Yes,
for
yeah,
pulling through, pushing
yeah. I'm
through.
glad y'all created this thing, man.
Well, dude, it was a pleasure talking to you, man. I had so much fun. I hope you had fun because
Me too, dude.
I would love to do this again. This was an awesome interview.
Yeah,
I
man.
hope you had fun.
I did. I had a blast, man. I was like actually like nervous getting up there, like talk to you. Then all somebody started talking. It's like, man, it's just like two homies getting up there and just chilling and talking back and forth, man. It's like great, man. I was like at ease because I just feel like I've like known you for like ever. That's kind of weird.
That's the greatest compliment that I could ever get in my opinion, because I don't ever want to be like someone that's intimidated. I want to be that person that other people can open up to and warm up to really quickly. I don't, I'm not anybody. I'm just an ordinary guy who likes to talk to people and do it in a way where it's back and forth. It's not
Hmm.
one person talking. It's two people having a conversation.
Right.
And that's the best part about knowing other people and living in this world, is just to be able to share opinions with each other.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens a lot so much anymore. Like especially um, when you go outside of your little bubble. You have your family and
Right.
your close friends, and then after that, you kind of like create a bubble because you don't know what's out there. So I try to like step outside of that bubble, and it might be uncomfortable for a second or two,
Hmm.
but I always try to make it so that it's like as comfortable as possible, and usually it ends up working pretty well.
That's right. Well, see, well, you are that guy that's like that. And plus, it's by going outside your bubble that shows you how you can interact and you have with different people and having diversity.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the big thing. Everybody now is on the phone, social media. Blah, blah, blah. Let me send you a text, dude. You sent me a text. We're at work, man. Why you just talk to me? I hate that. I hate getting emails. I hate getting emails at work, and you're right there. You sent me an email, dude. Man, I'm old school. Talk to me. See, and they don't know how to relate to people.
Yeah.
A lot of these younger people, they don't know how to do that. It's all on the social media, and it's like, man, it's see, they're like, well, how are you able to talk to like different, customers, like different, like the ways and get away with the way I talk? Because I'm genuine. That's the way I am. That's the way I just talk to people, and that's being able to talk to people and see and having that diversity that they don't have, you know. And see,
Yep.
that's why I'm saying, you got it. That's why I say, you're relatable, awesome dude, man. I tell you, man, it's been so fun. I had so much fun.
Yeah, dude. It's the pleasure. The pleasure's all on this side, man. When when I reached out to you to do this interview, and your reply just was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be great. I already know it's gonna be great. It doesn't. We could talk about anything. It didn't
Yeah.
even matter to me what we talked about. I knew it was gonna be great. I knew it was gonna be fun. So, and it did. This none of this disappointed. I went in with high expectations, and I'm coming out with even a greater experience than I thought it was going to be. So
Oh
this
man.
this was awesome, man. I really loved it.
Oh man. Thank you, man. I had it too. Like I said, man, dude, this has been like a blast, man. Definitely going to get up there and like give me the beautiful kickstart for the week, man. I'm like,
Yeah. All right. And you
yeah,
know
like,
what? I I I have to put this out there. I can't wait for the results of your show, and more importantly, the Cheesecake Factory video.
oh, it's happening. And dude, and what I did too, and plus I got some before pictures of when I started.
Oh, awesome.
So I haven't been taking pictures as we go along because I don't, whatever happens there. Of course, I weigh myself like every morning like a moron, and like I gained 0.2 pounds. Oh, I lost 0.4. Idiot. So anyway, but I'm gonna put that before picture up there, and then like the after picture up, and then and then I'll put like the difference in the weight
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
on that right there as well, and then I'm gonna put down what I ate and what I did, you know, because I
Awesome.
work out at my house. I got a couple little weights here. Just go to show you ain't got to go to some big gym. And of course I'm never going to be some big bodybuilding star, but I don't want to be. I just do this to show that the little average guy like me, you do what you want to do. Put your mind to it, make some things happen, and then guess what? You can go eat cheesecake. Nothing's gonna happen to you.
Awesome, man. I love it. I love your mentality. I love your outlook on life. I love the way you live your life, man. I wish everybody, or I wish more people would take that approach, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Hmm.
You just got to live life to the fullest. And I feel like, just from talking to you, that's exactly what you do. And I
That's what we do.
appreciate it. I love it.
That's what we do. Exactly right. Exactly right.
Cool,
Yeah. So
man. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, I can't wait to put this out there, because I know that hopefully, people that already watch your channel will get to know you better, and will have an even better appreciation for your covers. Because I know when I talk to all the people that I've talked to so far, going back to their channel and watching their videos, I have a greater appreciation, because now I have a personal connection to
right.
to them. So hopefully, whoever watches this out there sees what an awesome guy you are, and it makes your videos that much more entertaining.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, that right there, man. I appreciate it, dude. Dude, this was like so much fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you the man, you the man.
Cool, man. Well, dude, have a great night. Have a great week. Hopefully, it doesn't go downhill from here. Hopefully, it keeps on
No,
going up.
it's up, man. There ain't nothing coming down off of this right here. And plus, I'm gonna be watching y'all's videos. Everybody out there, y'all look
Hell
for me in the
yeah.
comments. I'm gonna be commenting. I'm gonna be, I'm watching. But everybody's
Sweet.
doing such a great job, and I just love y'all. Y'all keep on rolling, man. Love all y'all.
Cool. Yeah. Same here, man. I love everyone in the community. Uh, it really has been life changing for me, as I'm sure it's been life changing for you. Like
Hmm.
getting back into it. We both come from a place where we took a long hiatus,
Hmm.
and wasn't always for reasons that we wanted it, but to come back in and to be embraced by this community made all the difference in the world to me, and I'm
Yeah.
sure for you as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man, can't get up there, man. The connections with the people, man, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Cool.
So grateful, grateful. Put it in there all the time, man. I'm so grateful. Grateful for all y'all. Y'all keep on rocking.
Yeah, like I've been trying to push, and a couple of other guys too, but we want to do this thing. I want to do this thing where we like just kind of I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this to a map, and wherever it is, we're all gonna go and meet.
Yeah. Oh man, did you hear about that thing that they have? I don't. It's called like 1,000 musicians or something, and it's like
Oh
400
yeah,
drummers and all this,
I did
all
see
these
that.
people. See, man,
Yeah.
we need to have something where we can just have this big thing. We have a couple of songs, and we're all playing the same song. Kind of thing. Oh my goodness,
Dude,
dude.
that's not a bad idea, man. I think we need to like look into that and see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, man. So you get me like hyped up, dude. I ain't gonna go to sleep tonight. You want to keep me up all night? But like, thanks, Kelly. Oh, I can't go to bed.
Awesome, dude. Well, hopefully you get a little bit of sleep tonight, and tackle that day tomorrow, man.
Yeah, brother.
I can't thank you enough, dude. This was so much fun.
Yeah, man. I had a great time. Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you
Awesome,
so
dude.
much.
We'll be talking for sure in the future.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. This is just the beginning.
Cool. Awesome, dude. I love it. All right, dude. Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna sign off, but yeah, dude. Have fun, and take care.
All right, brother. Have a good night, man. Thank you.
All right, you
All
too.
right. All right. Take care. All right.
Waves of grace.